What's up guys, welcome back to the garage, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another new video. So we got the RS project complete. It's now time to get back onto the M3 and working just a little bit more. We have a track day coming up in about 2 days. We are headed back to MSR Crescent. We're going out there with Apex. Again, we're running for just another HPDE day. So gonna be a fun single day event out at MSR Crescent. But before we can do that, we have a few little prep items to finish on the M3. So I'm gonna show you guys today how I prep for the track, what I do with the M3 before we take it to any event. And I'm gonna show you guys what I load in my toolbox, what I bring with me, and everything I do before track day. So let's get the M3 up onto the quick jacks and we can get started on some of these last little maintenance details before our next track day. And now that the car is up in the air, first thing we need to do is take off the wheels. So as you guys know, I had a set of street pads on the new AP Racing brakes. These are some Ferodo DS2500s that are on here right now, and this is completely a street pad, so we need to swap over to the track pads, so that's gonna be a quick, easy swap. So as I mentioned before, we have a set of Ferodo DS 3.12s. These are their most aggressive track pad, and we're gonna be running these on the APs. So let's get these swapped over both front and rear, and then our brakes will be all ready and set. But we'll still have a few other items that we need to complete to get the car ready before the next track day. So we have the new track pads on the AP Racing brakes. We got all four corners, and obviously we torqued the pad bolts back to the spec that they were meant to be. And now that we got that situated, I want to move on to the last step of the brakes. If you guys remember, I kind of talked a little bit about struggling with a little bit of pedal feel and pedal kind of just having this like little bit of extra travel before we were able to get like a firm pedal. And the pedal still gets firm, it just kind of travels a little bit further before we get to that point. Now I had several of you guys comment on the video telling me a few tips. A few of you guys had the same similar issue. So we're gonna do one more brake bleed and I'll show you guys the little tip that I was given, and we're gonna see if it makes any difference. Okay, so the trick that I saw is we're bleeding as normal. We have fluid coming out of this bleeder. And the trick that I saw was to come into the interior. You come to the brake pedal, and we're basically going to slowly depress it. Only like maybe the top 25% of the pedal, 5 times. We're just gonna do that 5 times. We'll kind of feel it build up some pressure, nice and slowly with a little bit of a hold at the bottom of the pedal. Obviously we have the pressure from the bleeder and we don't wanna push too much fluid through, but we're just gonna do this real quick, and all 4 corners, same pattern as usual. And hopefully this gets us just a little bit of a firmer pedal at the top. So let's get this done real quick. I'll let you guys know how it feels. Well, unfortunately, that did not make the difference I was kind of hoping it was gonna make. The pedal, I'll be honest, it just feels the same. I don't notice any difference. Now, it doesn't really hurt to do an extra brake bleed, but I definitely wish that that kind of would have solved the issue. Like I mentioned, the car drives fine, it feels fine, the brakes work really well. It's just that initial pressure when you press down on the pedal, you just kind of feel like a little bit of travel before the pedal gets firm. And I just kind of wish that was fixed. But moving on from the brakes, if you guys remember a few weeks ago when we did the down pipes and the spark plugs on the M3, I ended up having an issue with one of the bolts on the nitrons on both fronts. And it ended up being these little underside connections. If you guys know how the nitrons work, basically they have a camber and a caster plate design. So they have these 3 bolts that work for the caster, and they're connected to this aluminum brace. So in order to take this aluminum brace off, you have to remove those bolts. And when we removed one of them on either side, it stripped and it spun coming out. You can actually see right here on these, it like sheared the end off of both of these. And oh, it's not focusing, but yeah, it like sheared the end off of both of these bolts. unfortunately. And what it ended up being was these little pieces actually stripped on the inside. So this one, I don't know if maybe somebody torqued on it too tight when doing an alignment. It had a little bit of material left in there. And then this one, the top is like, I don't know if, let's see if we can get it to focus. The top is like a little wonky and out of shape. So it just stripped it coming out and the top threads are all messed up. So we got 2 new ones of those from Nitron in California. And we had to play with these a little bit to get everything set, but we have the new hardware in and everything should be set to go. Definitely wanted to make sure that was done before the track day coming up. But now that all of that is done, we're basically ready to put these slicks back onto the M3. We're gonna burn up the rest of those R7s this weekend. Hopefully we can go pretty quick. At MSR Crescent, hopefully they still have some good life left in them. They definitely have a decent amount of tread. So we're gonna keep going from there. And then the last thing is gonna be, we're gonna show you some of the tools that I pack up, what spares I bring, what tools I bring, all that kind of stuff. And everything will be all ready and set to go. So let's go ahead and get the slicks back onto the M3. We're gonna kind of clean up everything up in here, bolt everything back up. We'll get the slicks on to the car, lower the car back down onto the ground, make sure everything is torqued, and we'll be all set to go. Now, one thing I didn't mention while I was doing the brakes is while you're under there, you kind of just, you don't always need to put a bolt on everything or put a wrench on everything and make sure it's all tight. I paint mark almost every single one of my bolts every time I torque them. So as long as I can see that they haven't moved, looks pretty good to me. But I recommend every time you're underneath the car, just kind of look for anything that looks out of place, looks wrong, looks loose, kind of like grab onto things, wiggle them, make sure nothing feels wrong. Nothing's making like any weird clanks, any of that kind of stuff. You always want to make sure everything is all set before, especially before track day. I will say these pads look absolutely insane. Like look how thick these pads look. So they're gonna be pretty crazy on the track. I'm hoping they feel really, really good. I'm really excited to mess around with these brakes and see how they feel, especially with the set of slicks. I mean, I have a feeling that this car will feel completely different than it has before. So with that being said, let's get everything bolted back up. We'll get the slick back on and the car will be pretty much all set. You guys know me, I can't show up to the track with a dirty car, so let's pull this thing out real quick. We'll give it a quick wash, get it all cleaned up. The car's all cleaned up. We got everything set. It looks really, really good. You guys know I can't go to the track with a dirty car. So car looks perfect, ready to set to go. Next up, we're gonna load up our box full of tools. So I always like to bring this just in case. You never know what's gonna happen at the track. You always wanna be ready for whatever it's gonna bring. So first thing we're gonna have is our pads in there. Obviously, we're gonna bring a bunch of tools. So torque wrenches, then I'm gonna bring, I always bring this full socket set. I always bring these different sets of, these are like hex, and then these are all my Allen keys. Also bring some adapters in case I need them. A few swivel sockets are always pretty useful. Obviously, like I mentioned, the torque wrenches always come. I always bring a set of box wrenches as well too. Well, not box wrenches, just regular hand wrenches. I have them all up in here. Then I always bring some of the extra bigger sizes that I need. That's just in case for any of the SPL arms. Obviously, I bring a set of screwdrivers, these Milwaukee's. It's actually pretty useful, but I also always bring a tape measure. You never know when you're gonna need this. And actually, I felt like I've needed it more often than not. Usually, I go ahead and bring some extensions as well as some pliers. I also go ahead and bring a little pop socket removal tool. Those are so useful when you need them. I always bring a set of gloves as well as my Nitron and SPL adjustment arms, or not the arms, but the tools, in order to unlock and loosen them just in case anything goes wrong. And then finally, I just bring a little bit of spare fluid. So I usually bring some oil. I usually bring a little bit of brake fluid as well as just the bleeder bottle. I don't bring the full thing because I can just have somebody help me bleed it manually at the track, but I'd rather have this than not have it because it's actually kind of a pain if you don't have the little bleeder bottle. Then coming over to the other side of the garage, we always bring obviously our gas cans. So I'm gonna bring 3 of these VP Racing fuel jugs. I always end up going through these things. So literally I end up using I'll probably use all 3 in one day. And then finally, we also bring my little aluminum jack. I have obviously I have these 2 bigger jacks, but those are heavy. And then I have this little aluminum one. This is perfect for bringing to the track. Nicer to have a little bit of a more lightweight one. And this works for basically everything I need on the track. And that pretty much sums it up for all of the track day stuff I bring in my toolbox. That kind of fills it up pretty quickly. You'd be pretty surprised. Still got a little bit of room in there, but we do end up getting pretty heavy, so you gotta watch out for that. Last thing I forgot to mention, I always bring my tire pump as well as my tire gauge. This is for just making sure my tires are at the right PSI on the track and then filling them back up both on the trailer or on the car, whatever I need. And then I also bring some of my Milwaukee automated tools. So I think I bring this ratchet as well as I think I bring the small screwdriver, maybe the light. I don't know. It's usually not too much. Sometimes I bring the set of calipers just in case I need them for suspension stuff. And then most of this stuff I kind of just leave. I don't take with me either. As well as I always bring a few spare batteries for any of the Milwaukee tools. But other than that, I don't know how I missed this, but I always take my 1/2 inch impact. So this thing's super useful anytime I need to swap wheels or rotate them. But other than that, that is pretty much it. So the last thing I want to mention before you go to your first track day or your next track day, something else that I always do to prepare, always make sure that the car is genuinely empty. Not just oh yeah, I got some of my stuff out. Go through, make sure the doors are empty. Any kind of loose storage cabinets, obviously you want those to be empty. So I always empty out the trunk, that bottom section underneath the trunk with the storage, the doors, anything in the center console, in the little cubby area, in the cup holder area. Obviously make sure the back seats are empty, the floor is empty. Don't want anything in the car that could slide or fall or move while driving really aggressively on track. And once that's all done, then the car is all set and prepped. We can load it up on the trailer and head out to our track day. Well guys, we've got everything loaded up. Car is empty. The box of tools are all set. We have our fuel cans, obviously our jack, and that's pretty much all we're going to take to the track with us for this weekend. Now I just got to go get all my camera stuff, but obviously you guys don't really kind of need any of that stuff. Obviously you want to make sure you are also bringing all of your safety gear. So I'm going to be having my helmet, my Hans, my race suit, my shoes, my gloves, all that kind of good stuff I will be bringing with me to the track as well. But we're about to get the M3 loaded up onto the trailer. So we have everything ready. We got all of our track prep done. The brakes were checked. We ended up fixing that bolt on the Nitrons. Obviously we swapped over to our track wheels, torqued everything, made sure everything was nice and tight, and packed everything that we need for our track day. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, maybe learned something, or maybe thought of something that you didn't think to bring to the track before. Hopefully this weekend is a good weekend and we can set some fast times, kind of using up the rest of these R7 slicks. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video where we are back at MSR Crescent for a single day event and having some more fun driving the M3. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. As always, if you did, please leave a like, leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.